going on? Blossom is back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, in my entire career of YouTube, the top 3 questions that I've received from you guys is number 1, Blossom, how do you make so much money from clubs? I've addressed that already, multiple times actually. If you want, the link is in the description to my, club videos. Number 2 is, Blossom, how do you like your steak? I'm joking, I never get asked that, but the answer is medium rare. And last but not least, the most frequent question that I always get is, Blossom, how do I upgrade this car? This car could be any car in the game. Well, today I am back with something that I'm really proud of creating. This is going to be my most informational video to date, my most informational series to date, and that is going to be how I upgrade every single car in Top Drives. Now, I don't own every single ultra rare yet. We're going to start with ultra rares, move on to epics, and then legendaries, because everything super rare and below is pretty much fundamental. You go 332 is a drag, and then 323 if it's anything else that isn't a drag. So ultra rares and above. Now, I don't own every single ultra rare, but I will be telling you how I would upgrade if I had that car. And obviously, if I have it already, I'm going to tell you how I would do it. So this series, I think, is going to be great. It's going to be super informational. It's going to be super informative. That was the word I'm looking for. Informational. Is informational even a word? Hey Siri, is informational a word?
Informational means.
Oh, it is. You know, maybe I'm drawing a blank. I'm just drawing a blank with the English language right now. But informative, informational, you know what I'm talking about. This is going to be an absolutely amazing series, and I'm going to be telling you how I upgrade every single ultra rare. If I had it, if I don't have it. I have most of them already anyway. But anyway, let's get into it. And obviously, after I tell you how I upgrade every single one, I'm going to be telling you about what priority each RQ50 is going to be, and we're going to do the same with 51, 52. This is going to be a long series, so we're going to be here for a good time. Anyway, all these cars are also since JPT, so these are all really new. And as you can see here, some of these cars like the Cadillac EST is RQ51, and this one's 55. That's because I source all the images from Top Drives Club, and if Top Drives Club, if they don't update their images, then we're left off with basically cars from older updates. I could just take a screenshot on my own Top Drives game and then crop it and then put it here, but then the resolution would be different, and that's gonna annoy me more than the fact that these aren't all RQ50, because these are all RQ50 in the game right now. But anyway, these are all the RQ50 cars in Top Drives as of JPT that I would 969. Everything here is pretty fundamental. It's a bunch of all surface tire cars, standard tire cars, SUVs. The only one that stands out to be a little different is the BMW M5. Now, why would a 969 the BMW M5? Because it has super rare performance. The only reason why it's ultra rare is because it's medium. If you take away that medium and you put it to low, it's going to be like a RQ47, 46 kind of car, which is super rare performance. It has super rare on paper stats, super rare handling, super rare 0 to 60. 155 is basically every German car, so that's not really super rare. But yeah. Super rares, you want a 323, all performance tire cars anyway, and I'm going to treat the BMW M5 like it is a performance tire car. So because of that, I'm putting it in 969, but everything else is going to be very straightforward, I do believe. Next up on the list is 699. Here are all the RQ50 cars in Top Drives that are out with 699. So hiccup. Basically, everything here is, your twisties. You got the twisties like the Cayman, the 2.3, and of course the Lotus Elite Sport 135 from the campaign that needs no introduction. And then you have your City Streets cars that have over 79 handling. Everything here has more than 79 handling regardless. So like the Clio, the Caliber, the Pulsar, and the Volkswagen. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, next up on the list are going to be the cars, the RQ50 cars since JPT. I would have to update this if there's like a new update every time. But the 996 cars would be, these 3. So the Aston Martin and the Miura, I think there are no questions with those 2. The Aston Martin is a great dragster, high top speed, doesn't handle. And the Miura, once again, great top speed, doesn't handle, and a low 0 to 60. Here's one that I feel like a lot of people, or some people, might question, and that's the BMW 650i. Now, why I would 996 the 650i is because I want to put all my eggs into one basket, and that basket being its strength. Okay, so the BMW 650i does not handle. 77 handling is absolutely atrocious, but it has 82 MRA. So I'm really just down to, okay, am I going to 699 it and make it a little bit of a hybrid because it will handle a little better than the 996 version, but it will keep that 82 MRA, but it wouldn't have as low of a 0 to 60 compared to the 996. And at the end of the day, you know, if you 996, I mean, if you 699 the BMW 650i, you're left off with a bit of a hybrid that doesn't win you anything. So if anything, I'm going to, like I said, put all my eggs into one basket, and that basket being its strength. So I'm going to 996 this and use it as a dragster. Now, I'm not going to use it too often. Actually, I'm probably not going to use it at all. But if I ever got it and if I ever maxed it, I would 996 it because it has 82 MRA and because it has a relatively low 0 to 60. 5.5 though is truly cutting it. I mean, when you think about it, it has a lower 0 to 60 compared to like half the cars here, the same as the Mustang. It's basically half a second slower to 60 than the Infinity and the Elise, but at the end of the day, it has 82 MRA and I'm going to capitalize on that. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about are Dukes. Honestly, when it comes to RQ50 cars and top drives, as of JPT, there are only two RQ50s that I would keep in duplicate. The first one is going to be the Campaign Lotus Elise. I have 3 of them in my garage as we speak. 2 are 699 and the third one is 969. And last but not least is the Nissan Pulsar. Now, I only have 1 Pulsar in my garage, but that's because I've only one Nissan Pulsar. If I get a second one, I'm definitely going to keep it, 699 it, and have 2 city streets, Japanese low RQ beasts. But with that said, I wouldn't really keep duplicates of anything else. But now that I've told you how I would upgrade every single RQ50, it's time for me to rank them in terms of priority. So let's get to that. Guys, here we go, second part, and we're going to see 2 parts to every RQ that I do in this series. This is going to be my priority list. Now, as you can see, we have priority 1, 2, 3, 4, and hot garbage. Basically, how it works is that the cars on the top are the best, the cars on the bottom are the worst. And honestly, priority 1, if you are, you know, it's categorized as all players. So if you are any player, if you are a living being that has top drives on your phone and get any of those RQ50s, you should keep it in your garage. Priority 2 are for most players, so maybe players who may have finished the campaign. Priority 3 are intermediate players, players that may have been playing for maybe a couple months to a year, that kind of get the game and maybe have a bigger garage. Priority 4 are kind of for more advanced players. These are for players where they've already collected a lot of the cars in the first 3 ranks, and now they want to expand and get to become more of a collector. So that's going to be priority 4, and then priority 5 are basically going to be collectors. So what I'm basically trying to say is, if you are an advanced player, it probably means that you have multiple of these cars maxed already. Like for me, I have the Miura max, I have the H1 max, the Concept, the Elise, the H3, the Mustang, the Escape, and that's it. Right? So obviously I still have a little bit to work on. So honestly, for me, when it comes to RQ50, I'm kind of collecting priority 3. Like I'm looking out for a Cayman, looking out for a Pathfinder. I'm also looking out for the Infinity because that's new. But yeah, you know, once again, priority 5, which is hot garbage, are collectors. This is basically like if you just want every car in the game, and you know, these cars are absolute hot garbage. But anyway, here are my priorities. So in priority 1 is going to be the Miura, the Pulsar, the Elise, and the Hummer H3. And when you think about it, these are going to be all you need for RQ50, because if there was ever going to be an RQ50 only event, those are all the cars that you're going to need, because the Elise is the top dog for twisties, right? It's going to beat all the other twisty specialists below it, and even in the same rank as it. I mean, that's only the Pulsar. And then the Pulsar, it's going to be the best for the city streets medium and the city streets small, and it can also double down as a pretty good twisty car, to be fair. I mean, it handles really well, only 1 handling less than the Elise. And of course, the Miura S is the best dragster for RQ50. So once again, if we were in an RQ50 only event where you could use any RQ50 in the game and there was a drag, the Miura is going to be the best card that you want to use. Everything else is irrelevant. And once again, the Hummer H3T, now that is a prize card, but in this series, we don't exclude prize cards. That is your top dog off-roader right there. Now in priority 2, we have basically good cars that aren't the best, but you can still get some value out of them. That's basically going to be the Mustang 2.3. The Mustang 2.3 is basically second to the Elise Sport. You have the Hummer H3, which is second to the H3T. You have the Q60. Now the Q60, it's a pretty interesting one. It's new, so there isn't much that I can judge it by, but it does have a very low 0 to 60. No MRA, but that doesn't matter because it handles pretty well as well, and I'm seeing it as a pretty good hybrid. I mean, it doesn't have the amazing handling numbers, but it definitely has that 0 to 60 number. 5.0 for RQ50 is basically unrivaled. The only car that beats it is the drag spec Miura S, and that's a 10 handling difference as well. Next up are going to be the 2 four-wheel drive standard tire cars. I think this one is all surface. I don't know what Torte Saisons means, but yeah, both of them look pretty good. I think that's all. This is all surface. This is all surface. I put it in priority 2 because it's the lightest all surface tire car. It's lighter than the Escape, lighter than the Pathfinder, lighter than the Escalade, and obviously when it comes to off-road, weight is a very huge factor. Weight and handling, and when you look at the handling, this has the best handling as well. This is an old picture. The Pathfinder does not have 76 anymore. The Pathfinder has 72 handling now. But like I said, it's an old picture. It's RQ50 in this pick. And last but not least is the Subaru Baja Turbo. That one as well is going to be in priority 2. Now next is going to be priority 3. The Pathfinder is here because it still handles pretty well, but it's really heavy. And the Ford Escape, although it has like no 0 to 60, it does handle well and it is light. It was the lightest all-surface tire RQ50 before the Subaru Forester, but now the Subaru Forester has been added. This is the second lightest and the Forester is the lightest. Next up is going to be the Renault Sport and the Cayman. See, there's a bit of a ranking system here. It goes from Elise to 2.3 to Cayman in that order, right? And then, you know, the Renault Sport is basically like you have the Pulsar and then the Renault Sport, and then you have the Peugeot 208 GTI, and then you have the Dodge Caliber and the Golf. So in priority 4, these are cars where it's more for the advanced players. Usually, if you're in priority 4, you're kind of in a situation where you're just like, yeah, I'm bored, you know, I have all of these cars maxed already, and I kind of just want to max something new. Then you can look at priority 4. That's what it is for the advanced player. So this would be cars like the Cadillac EXT. It's a very niche car, the EXT, right? It doesn't handle, so you're not going to put in any twisty things. You're just going to put it in basically like a drag off-road where the Trailblazer can't play. So basically RQ50 and below, or maybe like RQ54 and below, something like that. The Peugeot 208 is basically, in my opinion, a worse version of the Clio. I always favor handling, although this is a lower 0 to 60. The BMW that we talked about before, the BMW 530i, the Aston Martin's V8 Zagato, and the Maserati Ghibli Cup. Now, why I rank the Zagato so low? Some people might argue that the Zagato could be moved up to priority 3, is because there isn't much of a need for the Zagato. And when it comes to British dragsters that are low RQ, I'd rather go 1 RQ more if I can and use the TVR, or once again, you know, 5.0 to 4.4, the Miura S just would beat it every single time. And then last but not least is the Maserati Ghibli Cup. It's a bit of a hybrid that's not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to lose everywhere by 50, if anything, if not more than 50. So for that, it's going to be priority 4. And last but not least are the Hot Garbage Collection. These are only for collectors, really, or, you know, if you are a specializer in BMW, Dodge, or Volkswagen. See, if I wasn't a Dodge specializer, I wouldn't care about the Caliber, but because I am, I have to get it and I have to max it. But I have to say that these 3 cars are absolutely useless. The BMW, once again, is basically honestly all 3 of these cars can basically be super rare. The Caliber just doesn't handle enough, and it's the same situation for the Golf, and the Golf has a slower 0 to 60 as well. And then the BMW M5, in my opinion, is the worst RQ50 in this list. Congratulations, BMW M5. But that's gonna be it for today. That is the RQ50 guide. Let me know if you found this helpful, because I'm gonna be doing this for every single RQ50 and above. Probably, okay, when it gets to the legendaries, it gets a little bit dodgy there because there's only one RQ99 anyway. Oh wait, no, I'm counting price cars, so there's more than one, but I'm pretty sure that everybody would know how to upgrade those. So this is probably just gonna cover epics and ultra rares. We'll see. I haven't decided on that yet. Anyway, but anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, blossom out. Peace.